Hi everybody. Glad to see you guys here. Here we are talking about wave theory number 2, and this is part 2. So this is the second part of this booklet, and it's about how to graph something as complex as what you see before you. So how to make a sketch of this particular graph for ourselves. And I put these at the very beginning of the video so that you can scroll back here, and these are the main formulas you'll need. How to figure out the top, how to figure out the bottom, how to figure out the period, kind of what you already know, and the start and the finish of our first iteration of the wave. So yeah, let's put this guy together. All right, and that's really what this video is all about, is how to do that. So okay, let's get started. Okay, so we start off just by labeling the a, b, h, and k of our function, right? It's a cosine function right there. It's a cosine function, and we know that a negative cosine function, because it's negative cosine right there, because we know it's a negative cosine function, has this general shape. It starts off at the bottom, -1, goes up to +1, and then comes back down to -1. And most of the ones that we do that are of practical nature are of this particular shape. So that's why I wanted to make sure that we did this one in particular. So let's have a look at how to set it up. I'll set up a little t-chart for us. Okay, so now that we've labeled the a, b, h, and k, now I need to use those to figure out the top, right, which would be this part over here, the top of my curve, the bottom of my curve, period length of the curve, right, how long that is, and then where does it start and stop, right, of my first iteration, right, the first set of the wave. So the formulas, again, were listed at the beginning of the video, and they're here as well, so we'll just calculate them out, use the values up here. So I'll do that, and pause the video. You guys might want to try the same thing. Okay, so these are my values that I got for the top, the bottom, and the start and the finish. So next thing to do is start setting up the graph, and that takes a little bit of care. I think I might have mentioned it in the last worksheet, no, not the last assignment, but or not the last video, but the last assignment. We talked a little bit about that, so we'll talk a little bit about it again here. It just requires some extra work to set it up properly. Okay, so you know these graphs are long and thin, and they have that wave shape, so you can kind of set up your original. And we know our top value and we know our bottom value, so we could draw little dotted lines in there to show us where that is. We also know where our baseline is, and our baseline is our k value. Right? That's our vertical slide. So we know that everything's been slid 3 down. So I'm going to set up some of those values for us on the graph that I've already kind of done there already. Okay, so those are the top, bottom, and middle, or the -3 is your baseline. It's your k value. So the regular graph has been slid down 3 values. So I know that those are my top, bottom, and middle. And now I need to put my start and my stop, or my finish, of where the first iteration of the graph will be. And that comes down as these guys down here. So let's sort those out. Oops. So I've got the top, I got the first, like the start at 50, and then I got the end at 1130, and I just took the average of those two numbers, and I got 590, which is the middle between 50 and 130, just average. And then I put down some markers to indicate where my graph is going to be. Remember, it's a negative cos graph, right? So a negative cos graph over here, it's going to start at the bottom and then end up at the bottom. So I start here at the bottom, go up, then come down. Sorry, I'm doing this in a mirror, it's hard to do. And it's going to wind up like that. So I'll draw them in. Okay, so there's the graph, right? There's the first iteration of the graph. And yeah, I mean, there's more to it, and I'll fill that in a moment. But that's what I would be looking for if I was going to be testing you guys. And that's what I'm asking you guys to do on the last part of that booklet, is to be able to draw these shapes. So you start off, you got to determine your a, b, h, and k. That's no problem. That's up here. That's these guys. You determine the top, bottom, start, and finish. It's good to know your baseline, where that is, right there. Right, that's your baseline. And then, so I'm looking for these numbers. I'm looking for the 5 and the 11. I'm looking for the start at 50 and then 11:30. Anything else that you throw in there is kind of bonus. Like I'm not gonna penalize you if you don't show it, but you should be able to know where those are. And then you got to put the right shape in. So make sure that you remember what all your other graphs look like, which I'll just outline for you very quickly at the end of the of this video lesson, which will happen quite shortly. So okay, that's basically what I'm asking you to do, is to sort those last little details out. Okay, let's have a look at the finished product, and then I'll just remind you of the other types of graphs. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so, this graphic goes on forever, right? And it doesn't just stop or start, and it can go, theoretically these waves go on forever in the negative direction, right? So you just keep going all the way over like that, and same over here, they keep going over like that. We only have enough room to draw a certain amount of it. So as long as I get like the first main part of it, that's really what I care about. And I mean, there are other ways to do this, and I'm happy if you want to explore alternative details. There are QR codes on the booklet to kind of help guide you on that. But this is really all you need to be able to do, okay, to finish that booklet off. So anyways, there you go. I'm going to sign off. Good to see you guys. Hope you guys are doing well. Thanks for being with me. Take care.